Shut up and sit down.
It's where the big boys play. SICW.
Welcome to Square Week Podcast, every episode 119. Normally, we talk about WWE, Raw, and all that stuff, but Jim wanted to talk about something a little bit more important, and that's the Bubba Army podcast and Brooke appearing on it. By the time you guys see it, we're going to be a little bit behind everybody else, but when you have three people that need to coordinate schedules, sometimes we're a little bit late.
Well, it just means that by the time they see this, more information will probably come up because so much was released. But yeah, so well, let's just throw it back here. I'm the Big Texan. Dude in the hat is Big Nasty Nate, and the guy with the flaming red hair is Bobby D. But on that note, yeah, so Brooke Hogan, called in to the Bubba podcast Army on YouTube. Well, at least that's where I see it, was on YouTube. And a lot of things kind of got revealed. Now, I also want to sidetrack and say today they actually was Hulk Hogan's. I don't think it was his funeral, but I guess you would call it his wake. So there was a bunch of people heading out to Clearwater today for that. Even Linda Hogan, the ex, Triple H, Stephanie McMahon was down there. So there was quite a few celebrities that made it. Theo from, everyone knows him from at least I know him from the Joe Rogan podcast. He's got his own podcast.
I'll say Theo Von is hilarious everywhere.
Yeah, Theo Von. But so besides that, let's just get into, it just makes it even weirder that she called in today to talk about it all. When her father,
she didn't go.
Right. But yeah, so let's just say, surprised. I mean, Bubba was surprised as well because they haven't spoken like 10 years ever since the sex tape got leaked and kind of destroyed everything, because it destroyed Hogan's second wife, second marriage to a lady named Jennifer. It destroyed Bubba's marriage, because it was his wife in the tape with Hogan. So it went crazy because it pretty much destroyed Bubba's career, at least at the time. I mean, he's now finally saying that he's finally stable and, kind of reclaiming everything now with this new podcast that he's got going on with his new girlfriend. But yeah, so 10 years since they've talked, but Brooke called up and it was kind of revealing some stuff. Like she revealed that her and Hogan both know that it wasn't Bubba the Love Sponge that released the tape.
With that, I was wondering the same thing Bubba said. Why didn't you guys come out with it sooner?
You
really didn't have the fluffing.
I guess that was something that was all on Hogan, because yes, she could have, and I think he even asked her that in their conversation that they had. I don't know what her exact answer was, but I think it was along the lines that he should have done it, because she even talked about how she confronted her dad about it and told him that he should just come out and say, that Bubba wasn't the one that did it, but it was the guy that was trying to, escort. That's not the right.
Escort.
Yeah. Money for the tape and everything. But it's a very good, interesting conversation they had. I'm just going to throw off some big ones here. Let's see. Yeah, Brooke knew he didn't reveal it. Also, she revealed that she didn't know about Hogan having leukemia. She said that his second wife, Jen, and her would take turns because Hogan was going through so many surgeries that one time Brooke would take care of her dad while he was in the hospital, and the other time, Jen would. She also said that Jen was probably his best wife, and that her and Jen together pretty much had Hogan almost to 100%. saying that he was feeling good, his body was in good standing, basically, and that she's wondering how within the last couple years everything went downhill. And I'll just say she led to a very good conspiracy. But let's just say she said that she's seen her dad's um, uh, blood tests from previous surgeries, and she said that they never had signs of a high white blood count, and so she doesn't know why all of a sudden he had leukemia. And if he had leukemia with a high white blood cell count, why he was going in for surgery anyway, because they don't normally have someone um, going in for
They-
surgery, something like that, that can't really defend off any infections. So what were you going to say? Was someone going to say something?
No, I said they wouldn't. Somebody has active leukemia, not in remission, they're not going to go in for a major surgery, including a heart surgery.
Yeah, so she said that he did have a lot of things done around a heart. He had a valve. I don't know if it was a replacement or a valve fixed. A bunch of extra the things that shock your heart. He had a bunch of those burnt off. But according
Yeah,
to her,
basically a lot of the side effects of steroid use on the heart.
But according to her, that his personal doctor said that his blood tests always come up like he was a 25-year-old fit person, and that she doesn't know all of a sudden how it could change so rapidly. But let's go into the conspiracy part. So let's say Brooke and Hogan still talked, but they kept it silent. So she kept it like she was out of Hogan's life, and eventually she did leave Hogan's life. But they were still talking, and she would tell Hogan that, well, vice versa. Hogan would say, I'm kind of in a bad spot right now. I had some personal dealings with this businessman, and he's fucked him over pretty bad, he had told Brooke. But then somehow this businessman started doing business with his current wife, Sky. So you got a guy that Hogan knows fucked him over, but all of a sudden now he's doing business with his wife. And there was a conversation that Brooke had that said that Hogan said that he should leave her. And Brooke goes, well, put it on me. Tell her that I didn't like her and that I'm a big part of your life and that that's the reason why you should leave, because they didn't want them to clash. But he said that he was scared to leave her. Now I'm going to throw in some tidbits. Brooke said that this girl was inside Scientology and that her parents were like the higher ups, like in the highest levels of Scientology. And so she felt like if something were to happen, like if her dad left this Sky, that something might happen to a family member or something might happen that's seriously bad. So it's a whole bunch of stuff here. So you got Scientology involved. You got a bad businessman that screwed Hogan up, but yet is still working with his wife. You got, let's see here. So there were some other things too. Let me look through my notes here real quick. Let's see here. Pictures with him. Am I sleeping? No. Yeah, even Bubba said that he believes that there's someone else involved in this. That they don't think it was a clear-cut problem because there was no what's the word? Autopsy?
Autopsy.
Yeah. There wasn't one done. The doctor, the main doctor wanted one, but there was some specialist involved and was just going off of what the main doctor was talking about. So they figured it was an open and shut case, and just he didn't want to be buried. He wanted to be cremated. So they went ahead and just did that. So now there's no way to get man, I wish I could talk.
Chest shot.
Right.
An
Autopsy done. So there's no way to even do that, because Brooke says, his blood was good, his heart was good, but he had a heart attack, and that's the cause of death. But what Brooke wants to know is what caused the heart attack. And then they went and talked about how, anytime in the when he was at the hospital, or any time that he was at home, because he was getting IVs, that Bubba the Love Sponge said there's like 50 things that he knows of that can easily be put into an IV and can cause you to actually have a heart attack.
simple thing is just a chest shot.
Yeah, so there's like a lot of conspiracy talk that, was he murdered? Did his wife have something to do with it? Did this businessman who Hogan knows fucked him over have something to do with it? Is the Scientology part of it? Why was Brooke scared of Sky and her parents? So I mean, there's a bunch of talk. Plus, Brooke already announced that she had talked to the guy who was in charge of Hulk Hogan's financials and excused her out of everything. She wanted him to take her off of everything because, again, she was scared that if it came down to him dying, that she didn't want to, one, fight with Linda, because she said that her mom, Hogan's first wife, Brooke's mom, Linda, always found a way to weasel herself into wherever money is. So she said that she wanted to stay out of Linda's life, and she's currently still staying out of Linda's life, but she didn't want to argue with her mom about the millions of dollars that Hogan still has.
Well, Linda's a train. Always has been a train wreck.
Yeah. And then the second part is that she was scared for her life about this whole Scientology thing. And she.
Yeah, but Brooke's husband whooped the shit out of any Scientologist or the little minions they hire.
Yeah. So she is newly married and with twins. And her husband is a former hockey player who is known to, I can't remember his name, but he's known to fight. But still, when you're battling people that you don't know, and it's already been rumored to do a whole bunch of things to get rid of people or silence people, you gotta stay away from that shit, and that's what she decided to do. Now she is curious on who is going to get. I think it's called the IP, intellectual properties. Basically, the name of Hulk Hogan, and all of his trademarks. So she is
Doesn't
curious
that belong to WWE though?
No, Hogan was
No,
one of
he
the
owned all
first
his.
ones. Hogan was one of the first ones that outright had his, because plenty of talks that him and Vince McMahon got sued by Marvel for the rights of the name Hulk. But they had made some sort of deal that if they ever decided to sell the rights, that he had first dibs. And if he found out he didn't have the first dibs, that he can countersue and earn the rights. And that's actually what he did. Marvel was going into the dumps. They tried to sell the whole rights to Hulk and not to him. So he found out about it, countersued, and was able to make the payment. I can't remember what he said, but he said it was really cheap on how much he paid for the rights to the name of Hulk. So he was one of the first ones that actually owned his name. And it's so weird because I'm going to throw this at you. John Cena, his legit name is John Cena, but he doesn't own his name John Cena anymore. WWE owns his name, which is so weird because it's spelled the same and everything, but he signed over his rights when he made it big. Well, while he was trying to make it big.
Well,
But
he
yeah,
sold his soul to the devil, so
right.
he's got to pay for it.
But let's see here. Brooke said that Hulk surrounded himself with a lot of bad people, and he couldn't trust any of his people that was close to him, and that she was his only person that he can confide in.
And Brooke said the only person she trusted was Jen, the second wife.
The second wife, yeah. Now, the main reason why Jen and Hulk separated and got divorced was they had literally got married right before the sex tape was leaked. It's not like he cheated on Jen with this lady, because it happened prior. But they had just got married, and then boom, this sex tape had hit the news, and so that was a lot of pressure on them going back and forth in and out of the court system and the media and everything. That just put a lot of pressure on their relationship, and they just went apart from that. But from everyone's talking about Jen was the one that was actually trying to do right for Hulk Hogan, and changing his lifestyle. So he was, and even Brooke said that he was seeing those places that try to reverse your age, by making you eat certain things and take certain things, and he was trying to prolong his life as much as he could. Uh, Yeah, and she also said that Hogan said that Sky, his wife, his current wife, was pushing Hogan to marry her. So she even felt that was weird, because before they got married, Hogan had told Brooke that he would never marry again. And then she said it was just like 2 weeks later, they were married. Everyone around him was after his money and wouldn't let him relax or rest. And so I'm assuming that was probably people that dealing with the American beer, dealing with the the American was it the American Freestyle League that he was trying to form, plus all of his WWE demands, because he had to show up to so many shows. A lot of it probably was that
Real
beer.
American Freestyle is still going to happen this month.
Yeah, Eric Bischoff already confirmed that, and their first show is going to be a tribute to Hulk Hogan as well. So there's probably going to be
Maybe next week I'll give my breakdown of the card real fast. I'll do a quick one.
Did you say next week?
Yeah, next week I'll just do a quick rundown of the card and who my predictions of winning are.
She also says that what ended her relationship with her dad was she called him up, and they were on just talking terms at this point. But she wanted her dad to walk her down the aisle when she got married, and he flat out told her no, that he didn't want to walk her down, and that she wouldn't be able to get him to leave his house. Which Bubba the Love Sponge said that was weird of him saying that, because at that point he was still making appearances on a lot of TV shows. I can't remember if he said it was TNA about that time, but there was a wrestling organization that he was dealing with that he still was having to make appearances for. But she said that's what actually severed the ties with her and her dad, is he would not walk her down the aisle. Matter of fact, he didn't even care if she got married or not. And even when she brought up that she wanted to have kids, she asked her dad if he had to do it over again, would he have kids with Linda? And he said no. And she said that broke her heart too, because she is a kid from him and Linda. So she was a lot of it. She was just really upset. She does say that she knows that Linda got really crazy at the end, but she said that her mom knew about all the cheating going on between Hogan and a lot of women. She started naming off the names of these ladies that Hulk Hogan supposedly slept with while still married with Linda. And she said that was driving her mom crazy, and that she didn't know why her mom didn't leave sooner. But
Okay. I'm showing Brooke Hogan was married in 2022, and Hogan was not affiliated with any promotion in 2022. There was a girl in AEW that used the name Kiera Hogan, but I'm not showing Hulk.
Well, that's what he had said too, that he was still in ties with some sort of wrestling organization. But a lot of this has to probably go back and forth. She did say that her mom was a great business person, though, and that most of the marketing for Hulk Hogan was done by Linda. And if it wasn't for Linda, he wouldn't be on everything. Because if you think about it, he's on every single thing you can think about. I was just watching a YouTube video by La Pumba, I think is his name. And sorry if I butchered it. But he is strictly a Hulk Hogan collector. So he has everything, posters, almost every figure that he has. But there's, I watched a video earlier, and he bought notepads that had a picture of Hulk Hogan on it. So every piece of paper had a picture of Hulk Hogan. So I mean,
He's like the first
everything.
wrestler crossed over into everything.
Right. But yeah, so totally crazy what Brooke was saying about her dad. And she doesn't even say that if she wants to go further with it. That this is what her theory is, and she don't know if she's going to go continue it.
I think she should. I think she should get attorneys and go after the hospital, because the nurses violated HIPAA on multiple occasions. You're not supposed to take pictures of your patients, and they were taking selfies and pictures, allegedly, according to Brooke.
Yeah,
Of
according to
him when
Brooke,
he was unconscious.
even
That's
when
a
he was asleep.
violation of HIPAA in every way, and she should pursue that.
I'm just gonna see if I missed anything else. Nurse, fancy pictures, everything's that guy. Asked to take
No, the whole thing's a train wreck, because people are saying Malcolm Jamal Warner, the one that drowned, was murdered by other people. So when him and, was it his son or daughter, I don't remember which, both got swept out by a rip current, and yet he's the only one that died.
So the only other thing in my notes that I didn't talk about was she almost died giving birth to her twins. She had a lot of complications, and her husband had even reached out to Hulk Hogan to tell him that, look, Brooke is not doing well. There's a chance that she can pass and die, and he still didn't come to go see her. He never did see her twins. I don't even think he had met her husband. He just knew of him from being a hockey player. So that's kind of how exchanged, whatever the fucking word is.
Strange.
Strange too.
That relationship had become. But man, it's so weird, because this is a guy that I idolized all my life, and still, I guess you got to make the separation between Hulk Hogan the wrestler and Hulk Hogan the Terry himself.
Well, and let's, because this is going to kind of come up in the next topic. This is only one side of the story.
It's true. But it also doesn't sound good that this lady, has only been married to him for 2 to 3 years. He was in good health when she married him, and then all of a sudden his health, declined rapidly.
But if you also watch Hogan Knows Best, he talked about it, where all the people he wrestled with back in the 80s, they were on so many drugs and drinking and everything, and they're all dropping like flies, and he's been staying in great shape. It's all eventually going to catch up to you.
That's
and
true.
when it does, it's going to come fast.
Yeah. I almost, just being a fan of his, it's almost like the Benoit situation. because I read a post about someone today. They were talking about how the timeline for the deaths of Nancy Benoit and their son doesn't equal the timeline of his death. And so they're talking about, what if, he came home and discovered them dead and discovered, that the murderer was still in the house. Because the police have got it down as a crime of passion. But they're saying that most crime of passions are very fucking messy. And this was all, like they said, the house was sterile. Like everything was clean. They were, laying with Bibles next to them, all neat and pressed and everything.
Well,
Plus
I watched that documentary about that event that you sent me, what, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, Jim, and I went from believing he did it to having questions whether he did it or not.
yeah. So it's, the fan in me want to say, Benoit didn't do it. I'm not a cop. I'm not a evidence person, so I don't know, what all it says and well, I guess what it says is he did it, but you don't want to believe it. And then you got Guerrero, Chavo Guerrero, saying that his last phone call to him was so weird. That something was wrong with his voice when he was talking to him, and repeatedly told him his address, and he's like, I know your address. I've been to your house. So I don't know why you're telling me this, but that's all he would repeat. So it's weird. I wanna I I wanna say that I hope, I kind of hope there was bad things going on with Hogan's death, because you don't want your mentor to die. You don't want your hero to die. Um, and if someone was responsible for it, you would want them caught and punished. That's what I'm trying to say. So if there's something going on with it, I hope someone goes into, hey, shut that door.
I'm no fan of
My door's not
Scientology. I think it's total BS, especially where it originated from. But 25 million is not enough for them to do anything when they pull that in 30 minutes with all their things they do. Man, I don't think they would have something to do with it. I think it would be more local to
I'm gonna say
him.
overall, as that organization, I could agree with you, but people individually have murdered for a lot less.
Well, yeah, that's true. I'm saying it wouldn't benefit the cult to do something as an organization. I should say it has to be something more centralized around Terry that would do it.
You know, I think 25
Let's they can
million.
land with the rights of that name, then that's even more.
Yeah,
That's
because
true. That
25
would be
million
worth
is
more,
just,
but Terry had the rights and he only had 25 million.
well, that's what I was just going to say. I think it's because that name is worth more than 25 million. That's
That
what
name can continue to get pumped out for the next 50 years, making money.
But you almost got to look at different things with Scientology as well. That Danny guy from that 70s show. They try to protect him as much as they could. But eventually it was such a talked about thing, and so many other women came out that they almost stopped. I mean, they did. They stopped protecting him, and then now he's in jail, and he's in jail for life. So you don't know. You heard so many bad things about this. I mean, it's a religion based off of a fucking fake book that the guy wrote. He was a sci-fi writer, and he wrote this book that just kind of took over, and he was like, well, let me
The dude
ride
went in the
this wave.
desert. The dude went in the desert and had orgies to open a portal so Satan can come through and possess his body. I mean, he was friends with Aleister Crowley. I mean, come on.
Yeah, so I mean, they're already believing a religion that's based in science fiction. So who knows what they can fucking do. And they got so many people hoodwinked that, you know, Tom Cruise gives them 90% of his income. You know, and they talk about that Rhea Lemmy, or I think that's her name, talked about how she was going broke because she was forking over her fortune to the Scientology. So I mean, it's a crazy religion. It's already, you know, got so much controversy dealing with them. So you never know what can go on. But you know, there's one subject I didn't touch up on, and she kind of touched up on it, and Bubba actually told her something that she didn't even know. When she was, you know, that whole N-word conversation that was taped with Hulk Hogan, so she did touch up on that. She said that she knew her dad didn't like her not sleeping with him, but dating him, and she said that she was actually really in love with the guy. Um, but he had something to do with her record label and her record, you know, contract that she had. And Hogan was talking to Bubba the Love Sponge about it and how he was going to end it. And so on Christmas, I don't know what year it was, but it was the year that her label dropped her supposedly. Her label sent a bunch of Christmas presents, and Hogan slipped a letter in one of the Christmas presents that said that, you know, some presents for you, but we have some bad news. We are dropping you from our label. And so this whole time thought that that's how it happened, but it wasn't. Hulk Hogan wrote that letter and put it in the Christmas presents, and you know, so she thought they dropped her, but actually Hogan dropped them just under her name. And she said she didn't know that Bubba the Love Sponge is the one on this conversation. He's the one that told her that, and
So
because he said it to,
let's also go back to this. That's one person's perspective of it all, and the perspective of a guy whose wife cheated on him with him. Like at the same time, Hogan was on Raw trying to promote Brooke Hogan's record. She was terrible, and WWE said they would stop promoting it. So he left his WWE contract at the time. So like he was also pretty damn dedicated to it at the same time.
yeah, she talked about how he was the catalyst that got her there, but then when she became famous or more famous, then he was the one that actually pulled the plug on it too. So yeah, it's definitely weird. Uh, so who knows? But I'm sure as this comes out and more people start talking, because she knows the business guy that really screwed over Hulk Hogan. She didn't drop his name, but she did mention that she knows him, and of course, her, you know, her technically, I guess, her stepmom is still in business with this guy. So
I'm interested to
that could be
see
easily found.
when the last will was done for the IP, and if the business guy and Sky is the one that gets that IP, because you know Sky will just donate it to the Church of Scientology.
Yeah, I'm sure that's how it's going to happen, and then we'll probably know what's up. You know.
Only if people talk enough. If they don't talk enough, nobody's going to know. Same thing with Danny Masterson. The only reason why people know is because people finally talk. The females got away and were able to talk to people who aren't scared of a bunch of little guys and in some science fiction fantasy land.
You're right.
Are you telling me you don't believe aliens live inside your body and you got to purify them out?
No, I kind of don't believe that.
Weird. I watched Men in Black and I saw it firsthand.
Oh. I don't
Well, I
remember
watched
that
Invasion of the
in
Body
Men in Black.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but I still don't believe.
Okay, so before we get to conversation number 2, let's just go over SummerSlam real quick. Night 1, I thought was pretty decent. You know, the main event, yeah, there you go, a little adverse thing right there. But so night one, I thought was done pretty well. The main event was Seth Rollins. Oh, sorry, was CM Punk versus Gunther, and it was a great back and forth. Gunther is known for his chops and chopped the hell out of Punk. At the same time, Punk was out wrestling Gunther, and at the end, it came down that CM Punk was able to get the best of Gunther, and everyone was like so excited, and they were ready for CM Punk to be a champion again, because he talked about he wanted to be, when he come back to WWE, he wanted two things. He wanted to be a champion again, and he wanted to main event WrestleMania. Well, he got the main event at WrestleMania this year, and so he was able to succeed and get his second wish. He became a champion again. However, Seth Rollins, who is the Money in the Bank holder, basically meaning he owns the briefcase with a contract that he could, dish out at any time. So it could be in the middle of a match, could be before a match, could be anywhere. And everyone was thinking that he was injured with a knee problem that he had in a match prior. And WWE even, showed him going off in the ambulance and showed him with pictures with his daughter, how he was walking around on crutches. And it turns out that was all fluke and fake. And it was all for this setup that once CM Punk became champion, he came out, threw down the crutches, went to the ring, and fought CM Punk. And now Seth Rollins is the champion. So that happened on night one. Night two was the big old Cena versus Cody Rhodes. And prior to night two, it was on Friday Night SmackDown that Cena had came out and said, hey, this is not how I want to go out as being a heel. That was someone else's storyline, someone else's plan. And as you can see, they left me behind. Of course, he was talking about The Rock, and he was talking about Travis Scott, the rapper, and how they convinced him to turn, but then left him high and dry. So in one promo, he was able to switch himself back from a heel to a babyface to go into this match for baby versus baby, which is very rare that they do something like that. I mean, pretty much the last time was probably Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior, two big babies going against each other.
Big.
So it came, it was a very physical match, and a lot of people were kind of slamming it too, because there was so many finishers used during that match. And, sometimes it was three of the finishers back to back to back and still wasn't able to put one of them down. But it did come to Cody Rhodes earning the victory over John Cena. And they embraced, and Cody left the ring even though he was the champion to give John Cena his applause from the audience and his final dues, I guess you would say. And then we hear the music of Brock Lesnar coming out. Of course, Brock Lesnar come out. He, eyeballed John Cena up and down, slid in there and delivered his F5, and then left the ring. But that's when everything started talking. Why is Brock Lesnar back? They had, WWE had went as far as saying a few weeks ago that he was one that was going to be blackballed and blacklisted from the company. And, they made a big to-do about it, how he would never be back. And then all of a sudden he's back. And he's already going against John Cena. And they already at the end of how they do that media blitz thing at the end, Triple H had said that John Cena wanted to do another run with Brock Lesnar before he finished his career. Today, it was announced that John Cena on social media said no. He never suggested Brock Lesnar, never said that he wanted one more run with Brock Lesnar. So now we're up to who do we believe? Because there's rumors that TKO is saying, well, Brock Lesnar draws big money. And of course, it was announced that they're almost like $300 billion in debt. And that, this is the reason why most pay-per-views now are going to be 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, instead of just WrestleMania. That SummerSlam is now at Royal Rumble is going to be one, and so they're adding 2 days now just to money.
I don't know if it's still the case, but when Brock Lesnar fought for UFC and TKO, he had 3 of the top 5 selling pay-per-views of all time. He was the headline for it. So they might just be, get him out here, we need money.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people are saying, that because there's so many things coming out. There was one thing that said, oh, well, he was cleared from the Maxwell, or was that her
Janelle
name?
Grant, and he has not been cleared.
Yeah.
He is not a defendant in the case at all. But go ahead.
Yeah, so a lot of people saying he's cleared, and that's why they brought him back. A lot of people saying that they need money, and he's a big dollar ticket guy, and that's why they're bringing him back.
That's the one. They need money, and they're just throwing things against the wall.
Yeah, I've seen those text messages going back and forth, and you, Nate, you said you read them all. You don't know. It's another situation that you don't know who to believe or what to believe. Is he cleared?
I'm not listening to anything Janelle Grant's saying. I'm not listening to anything that Triple H, Brock, or Vince said. I read everything that was submitted to the court. I downloaded it, read it all. I believe what I read from their own words, from their own phone, from what they said. And I have degrees of culpability that I believe, but again, I'm not prosecuting it. I'm not a detective in it. So it's just my personal feelings. And regardless, like I said earlier, of Brock's fetishes, I could really care less.
So again, this is one of those things that who do you believe? Because that case is still open with Vince McMahon. So how can you be cleared if the case is still open?
So from what I was just reading, he is not a defendant in the case at all. His name was brought up as Vince McMahon was trying to use her to keep him there, but he is not a defendant as far as he did anything wrong. He was used as a pawn as well.
It's crazy. As a fan, I'm a fan of Brock Lesnar. Do we need another Brock Lesnar versus Cena run? I don't know. With Brock being back, who is the one that can go against him? I don't think really anyone can. I mean, it has to be John Cena.
We need to get the Red Rooster in there, Bobby D.
I'll take them both out.
Yeah.
Ground and pound, Bobby. Ground and pound, right? That's how he
getting on the ground with Brock Lesnar. Fuck that. I'm hitting him with a freaking crowbar.
Jim will teach his Larry.
So with those bad conversations out of the way, and I don't know if you can say Brock Lesnar's conversation's bad or not. I guess it's all up in the air. Let's hit him with some good positive stuff. Let's talk about this Saturday. Because this Saturday, it's not about this belt, but it's about this organization. It's about Bobby's organization. And it's going to be, and they're still saying it's going to be a very nice weekend. It might be a little hot because they're saying 91, but they're saying it's also not going to be as humid as it was a couple weeks ago.
Well, that's what I'm hoping for like last year. Last year it was a little bit on the warm side. Matches start at 7, sun's down by 8. So it was a little bit on that warm side for that first 30, 45 minutes. But once that sun was going down, not even all the way down yet, but going down and the breeze is whipping through there, it ended up being a really fantastic night.
Now, this Saturday, unlike last year, was it last year that you had the cage match?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Okay, so there is no cage match coming this Saturday, but still, it's going to be still such a great night. And why are we having this night, Bobby?
It's a fundraiser for the Belleville Little Devils. We have football, wrestling, and cheer, and this money goes into it. And all money goes. We're completely non for profit. Nothing goes to pay any people that are working concessions or anything like that. All goes to help get equipment, insurance, everything that the kids need to keep these programs going.
So it's going to help the football program. It's going to help the wrestling program. It's
And
going to help
cheerleading.
and cheerleading. So it's the whole organization all as a one. So it's a great organization. I mean, how long have they been around? You know, because they've been a lot.
I know wrestling started in 1971, I believe, but football was around even longer than that. Like, it's been a long time. I can Google here real quick. Actually, if you go to BellevilleLittleDevils.com, I know that's on the homepage.
Oh. So I wanted to get the word out about this because it's always a great show. You know, it's Bobby's so much behind it. You know, being one of the coaches for the
Established
wrestlers.
in 1957.
1957. That probably explains why it's got the devil on there. Because
Well,
back then,
so yeah, I was gonna say so. You had the Little Knights, which was a feeder program for Altoff and East, and then you had the Belleville West Maroon Devils, which was a high school, and the Little Devils was a feeder program for them.
I knew there had to be a connection because, when I went to Belleville West, we always talked about how the mascot was a devil, but they had quickly, I guess, recently eliminated that. So
Yeah.
you can't
I say
really.
when I was at West, they tried a couple different things from a bird to just a maroon. It's like, what are we, a coloring crayon or whatever? But they tried a lot of different things, but they're just the Maroons now.
But either way, great organization. It's going to be a great show because everyone's going to come and throw it down for you. Everyone's been out, helping promote it. Me and Bobby, we were at what was the name of that organization? The Soul Kitchen, was it? I think that's what it's called. The Social Kitchen. So we were out there promoting it, handing out flyers, and met some people that didn't even know Belleville had wrestling, professional wrestling, that is. So they got some flyers about it now. They're helping promote it. I went and did Moms on a Mission this past Sunday, helping them, hand out backpacks and school supplies to over 700 people. Of course, I had flyers about, and a lot of people were very interested. And there was actually this little girl. She told me that she goes, we went to their tournament and I won it. And it was a little black girl.
Got that belt you're holding.
Yeah, she's got that belt. And she goes, we went there because of the belt. She goes, no other places, gave out, trophies like that. And I said, well, here's what you do. You come back this Saturday and bring your belt, and all the wrestlers will sign it for you.
So she can get that, but if anybody else is interested in a belt, I did get it set up today. We will be auctioning off an autograph one of those belts.
Awesome. I mean, I think we should, since she won your tournament, at least in her age bracket or weight bracket or however it goes.
Oh, we can get her signed for sure.
You're right.
Now, so today I was talking, there'll be a video here coming soon. I was talking with some of our cheerleaders and whatnot, like trying to hype them up, get them to come to the shows because you get the kids to come, the adults come with them,
Right.
And Glenn Williams decided to show up. So that was a fun little exchange, and there'll be a little video with that coming here soon, and I'll make sure to get that to you, Nate, so we can post it on here when it gets here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll get that out, Colin, with a little bit more edit. Yeah.
But yeah, so definitely this is regular time, right? It starts at 7.
Yep, doors open at 6. The wrestling will start at 7. Sun goes down. We turn the field lights on. It's on that. I don't know if it's exactly the 50-yard line, but it's right in front of the concession stand.
And the concessions is actually pretty good. They got a lot of good food, unlike some of the shows that you go to where they just, have hot dogs and just nachos. There's more there than just that. Because they had was it some sort of loaded nachos or loaded fries that they were doing? I think it was last year.
So we pretty
They have
much run
chicken
our
wings.
whole football concession out of it. So like whatever we have for normal football concessions, we'll have for this as well.
And their beer is cold, which is a high note in my book. And anytime that you have a wrestling match and you can drink a cold beer afterwards, it's a great night.
I came from football practice to get on this podcast, and this one that you saw me drinking was a cold one from there.
What is
I
on
did
your
not
head, Bobby?
drink it. Let's put the disclaimer out there. I did not drink and drive. I popped it open when I got here on the podcast.
There you go. Smart move.
What's on your head, Bobby? On the left side, right below your mohawk. It looks like you have glitter on there. On the left side. Yeah, right there.
It probably is. I'm a little bruised up from the tapings, and one of the cheer moms put like this balm on the bruising there.
Yeah,
And knowing her, it probably had some freaking glitter in it.
It is. It is shining. It is shining. Let your glitter freak flag fly, Bobby.
I'd say like, see if I can get here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
We really don't know. At least I don't know what the matches are this weekend. But I'm sure that belt behind you, hanging up on the wall, will be defended.
So that is the only match that I even know. It will be Glenn Williams and I in a 2 out of 3 falls count anywhere match.
Wow. So
So
that
I'm
means
gonna
it can be
beat
in the
his ass
parking
all
lot.
over the place.
Yeah, it can be in the parking lot. It can be in the concession stands. It can be on the 50-yard line or even on the end zone. So
And the bleachers.
that is awesome. That'll be a good match. That's the price of entry right there. To see Glenn Williams lose 2 matches in one night. At least
I
2
plan on sweeping him.
Yeah.
I'm not staying down for him.
Well, it's a no DQ match with interference allowed too, right? Because Glenn can't beat you without interference.
Yeah, I think I have enough people that don't like him that can watch my back. One of them's on the screen there.
No, Bobby is the king when it comes to this particular night. Well, really any night, but mainly for this particular night because all the kids there deal with Bobby. Bobby's their coach, so that means if the kids want to be on the best behavior of Bobby, they gotta have his back. And the same thing goes with the parents. The parents gotta have Bobby's back too. Matter of fact, I want to say last year, or it could have been the year before, I think there was a fight going on, or almost a fight going on, because of one of your matches there. So it could get a little wiry, I guess you would say.
I take mental notes, and those kids are going to do a little extra running if they're not on my side.
Need to give them chairs.
All right, Bobby, did you get a crate this week?
I did.
Sweet.
Try to get back in good camera shot here. This I forgot to put back in the box, so we'll just show this first. It's like one of those little lanyard keychains. They come in handy a lot. Little pro wrestling tees. That's who I ordered the crate from. This one took me a while to get figured out the first time. I think it says Hounds of Hell. I don't know if that's an AEW thing. I don't really know AEW.
Yeah, I think it is.
It's one of those like shirt pins. Oh,
We'll
it says
see.
all elite crate, so probably. I think I've actually gotten this poster before, but it's still pretty cool anyway. It's a John Moxley and Brody Lee poster.
That is pretty
You
cool.
can have people sell it and do it for an auction.
So
On
I
Saturday.
plan on taking a lot of the stuff that I don't want to keep or that's duplicates and I want to keep and starting to put them at my merch table. I've got a good little collection going now, so I'm going to start bringing it to the shows.
Might as well.
Things like this, because I don't like all elite wrestling. So, you know, it'll be things like this all elite shirt.
And the Hounds of Hell or AEW.
Yeah, because I don't know who they are. But things like
Brody
this one,
King
I'll
and
keep.
Buddy Matthews.
I'll keep things like this with the Repo Man.
Yeah.
Uh,
I only got a couple of those, and I hate to dive into it because there's so freaking many of them.
I said I got this sticker, and it confuses me because it looks like Willow, but he has an MJF scarf.
Yes. So that was when MJF was injured, and some guy was attacking people backstage, and they called him the Devil Mask Man, and then it turned out to be MJF. So.
So, and then the last thing, it's a good autograph. You know, I get a lot of duplicates and whatnot, but this is one that I actually really like. Dr. Tom Pritchard.
Nice. Yeah, that was when he was probably in the heavenly bodies.
Yeah,
At
he's
least
pretty young there.
Yeah, that's what the wardrobe looks like. I
I
have.
was like, I said, that's the end of the crate, but you know, this one I texted you about it. I've had this for probably about 2 months. Little Bruiser Brody guy.
Yeah, so we're not 100% sure on it because
smiling.
it looks like it's Hillbilly Jim's head.
That's why
So
I texted you about it, because like, yeah, it's like Hillbilly Jim's head, but I don't know, it's weird.
It's got the same body as a Bruiser. They were both classic figures, so it could be the same body. It's just that Hillbilly Jim, you know, they when he first came out in that package had the overalls on and everything. So, because my Hillbilly Jim is still in the package, so I don't know what the body looks like. So it could be a lot of times when they do a mold, they try to use that mold as many times as they can to
Get their money's worth.
Yeah, get their money's worth. All right. I have a mix of things. You know, I have some wrestling. I have some other things. Like this one I picked up today. It's a Freddy Krueger doll.
Nice.
Yeah. You know, picked him up for $3. So, you know, hands down, Freddy Krueger lay on the shelf. You have to pick him up. I ordered some stuff from an eBay seller who lives in Canada. And, you know, sometimes when you order from places outside the U.S., it's either going to go good or bad. You know, one, the shipping rate is could be extremely high. His was not. And then he actually allowed me to buy a few things off of him. And then he only charged me for one shipping instead of the multiple shipping items that I bought. So the main thing I bought off of him was a Gloob Sting. Now, Sting had multiple Gloob figures, but nothing with this like decorative wingspan, you know, thing. So I have multiple Stings in the Gloob line, but I didn't have this guy. So I picked him up. Another thing I picked up from this guy from Canada. Well, I'll show you the first item. I did not buy this from the guy in Canada, but this is what started my collection of. This is a stamper. It's a self-stamping. Yeah, this is the Big Boss Man. And the reason why I picked him up was I was watching a YouTube video about items at restaurants that used to be for their kids' meals. And I didn't know WWF ever had a relationship with a restaurant, but evidently they did. They had a relationship with KFC. And there's only a few of them. There's Big Boss Man, there's Hulk Hogan, there's Ultimate Warrior, and I think the Macho Man. So I picked him up from a different seller, and it was pretty cheap. I think I picked him up for $11, and it comes with a disclaimer about small pieces and stuff like that. But that made me interested to see if I can't find the other ones. And literally, no joke, the day Hogan did pass away, I actually bought this guy, which is another stamper, but it's of Hulk Hogan. And literally, it was like an hour prior that I found out that he passed. That I ended up, and me and the seller actually had a great conversation about Hulk Hogan, and some other things that probably is not going to be picked up on this camera. But I thought they were very cool, so I bought them too. And of course, like I said, he put it all as in one shipping instead of having me pay for 9 different shipping costs. But these are little bitty cards, and the glare is bad, but that's $1 Million Man. Let's see here. George the Animal Steel, who is just now getting a brand new figure from WWE. Of course, he's getting it in the Superstar line, which is the line that I'm collecting, you know, the Superstars, the Walmart exclusive ones. This one is Killer Khan. Now, Killer Khan was supposed to have an LJN figure, and Matt Cardona actually has the prototype, but it never came out. And I think it's because, and it's just speculation, but I think Matt Cardona said it. He actually left the company, and it happens like that, where they leave the company right before their figure comes out, so they pull the figure, so that way they don't owe that guy any more money. This one was pretty cool. This is the Islanders, and I picked that up because, one, it's Haku, and love him or hate him, he's a friend of the podcast, friend of everyone on the podcast. Plus, they are just now getting new figures too. But Matt Cardona is doing their figures for the Major Bendies. Let's see here. Everyone's favorite manager, Bobby the Brain Heenan. And these are just little dinky things, but you know, they're old. Mr. Fuji, another manager, and they're still in the package. So
I know,
that's
I looked up the value on your Big Boss Man stamp, and his value is $99, so you made a profit already.
Oh yeah. And this is the Raju brothers, and they are now getting figures too. Not from WWE and not from Matt Cardona, but there's other little independent companies that are getting them.
Not familiar with
remember.
the Raju brothers.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't remember who they are.
So they were the Mountie originally.
Oh,
You know,
I know Monty.
Okay. I remember
yeah.
them.
So before he was the Mountie, him and his brother, they're from Canada. They were called the Raju brothers, and they ended up both switching to the Mountie gear. But one of them, I don't know, left the company or something happened, and so the taller one was just on his own, and they just strictly called him the Mountie.
Maybe Trump deported him back in the 80s.
Yeah, there was
Everything's Trump's fault now, right?
right. I picked up a female wrestler. This is Brie Bella. I picked her up just because there's a little girl that, yeah, there's a little girl that buys wrestling figures off of me, and she complained that I don't bring any female wrestlers. So
Shame on you.
I know. So I did pick that one up. Man, there was something else cool that I wanted to show you. No, I don't know. Oh, so we're doing some spring cleaning, or my wife is doing some spring cleaning, even though it's summertime. But she found this in the closet, so who knows how long I've had it, because I think I had this as a kid. And
Hey, I had those on my Trapper Keeper as well.
well,
Before your time, Bobby.
these are huge. These are not for a Trapper Keeper. This was made in 1991, but it's just big posters of the wrestlers, and there's 3 different versions, and I know I have all 3. But one I know is tag teams. So it's got Demolition and it's got LOD, but that's a pretty minty Hulk Hogan. Cover on the back of it is not as great, but still
Yeah, but the
So,
Hogan
good.
version,
How
they're
mad? How mad would you get if you came home and the granddaughter had those ripped out of there and taped on her wall?
I don't know, because it'll be almost a cool thing that the granddaughter really loves wrestling, so it'll be almost cool that she did it, and I would almost kill her because she did it. So it'd be a little hard.
It'd be a cool murder.
I don't think you could even look mean at her. I'm just going to call it now. It's not like the Suns.
Some oddball things. I was
Big
never
Texan the teddy bear now, huh?
I was never a fan of this particular show, but they re-released the show in figure form, so I went ahead and just picked up one of them. Where's the bigger version?
Do you do Brady Bunch figures now?
No. You guys, oh, here it is, right there in my leg.
Well, you're going soft.
You guys ever heard of Biker Mice from Mars?
I have.
I have not.
So I would not have picked them up if they were not on clearance. And it was funny because one Walmart had the figures on clearance and the other Walmart had the bikes on clearance. So one Walmart, I picked up the only figure that they had left. And this one is called
Vinny.
Vinny. And so when I went to the other Walmart just to see what they didn't have the figures, but they had the bikes. And so I went and picked up Vinny's bike. And it's not something that I'm going to, buy everything. One, because they're on clearance now, so you probably can't find them. But at least I can say I had one. And I got him and his bike. The other thing that I found on clearance was the Shredder / what was the brain's name?
It looks like Brain.
Crane.
Yeah, just bang.
Yeah, so his name was Crane, but this is a mix of Shredder and Crane.
Brain was the guy that he went into. His name was just Brain.
But this is not
Brain and Brain combined.
Okay. Oh, Brain and Crane. All right. But yeah, so this is a mix of Shredder and the Brain, and it has a little comic book on how he was formed. I don't know if it was a special mutation. Right.
The ultimate head.
But this other figure, I got two more things, and then I'll be done. This, you know what? I'm gonna save this one that I know Bobby's gonna love for in a minute. Then, so I pre-ordered this guy. This is Jacob Fatu. This is the first time in the line. Basically, it's his first WWE action figure. So I pre-ordered this before it came out, and I just now got it. Which most of the time, when you pre-order something, you get it before it's released to the public. This time it backfired, and it was released to the public like last month. And I just now got mine in the mail, and it is fucked up in the back. It's fucking torn, it's creased, so it sucks. And the only thing Amazon would do, is give you your money back. But since he was released last month, it's going to be hard to find him and in a box that's mint. Because I was going to keep this one mint since it was his first figure. I mean, technically, I showed off his actual Major League Wrestling figure, and that figure I got for a steal, and that thing is going for over $100. I think it's about 150 right now. But that one at least is mint and is put away. But I figured since this is the first WWE figure, I was going to do the same with it. But now I'll probably just open them up since the package is fucked. All right, which leads me to the last one. Now, this one, if I can find them, I'm probably going to buy them because it's a movie that I really enjoyed as a kid, and I know Bobby enjoyed it as a kid. But this is one of the figures from Big Trouble in Little China.
All right. I'm going to give a little personal information here. I actually have Big Trouble in Little China boxers with the Pork Chop Express on it.
But this is Lightning. The
The Raiden
package is,
ripoff.
yeah, the package is fucked up. So I will take this one out of the package. But he's got they're right here. They're like things that go on his hands. So it kind of shows that he's got lightning bolts coming out of his hands. But I found him on clearance. So Bobby, if you ever look at any other Walmarts, you might be able to find him. It shows that everyone has got a figure. And I want to collect the old man version because I think the old man is really cool looking. But this was a re-release. They've been released before. I guess when the movie actually came out, some toy company had made them, and this one got me looking for the first versions. I'll just pick up the re-release because the first versions are just crazy priced. So I'll be happy just finding one on clearance here and there. But I think they're very cool, and it was from a cool movie that I enjoyed as a kid. And I know that I heard it's so close to Mortal Kombat that one stole from the other. Either Big Trouble in Little China stole from Mortal Kombat, or Mortal Kombat stole from them. Was his name Raiden in Mortal Kombat? But yeah, so definitely a cool pickup. If you want, I got one more thing, and it's in a package. I believe I know what it is, but I'll just slice it open real quick, and then this will be the last guy. Are you looking them up, Bobby? Is that what you're doing?
I'm looking to see what came out first.
Oh.
Well, Big Trouble Little China came out in 1986, Mortal Kombat in 1992.
Oh,
I don't know if
nice.
that's just the movies, though, because I know the games were out long before the movies.
Yeah.
And they even had a manga and everything for Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
It says the arcade games weren't even in development until 89, so Big Trouble Little China still first.
There we go. All right, so this is the last Maddox figure that I needed to actually complete my knockoffs of the WWF Hasbros. This, believe it or not, is Shawn Michaels.
There's a lot more muscular than I remember.
Right. But he was the last one I needed.
Is that a Goldberg tattoo on his arm too?
It does kind of look like it's not, but it does kind of look like it could have been what they were going for. But these guys right here, this is the rest of the line. And I previously showed those off: Adam Bomb, Hulk Hogan, Razor Ramon, and Lex Luger. So he was the last one I needed to actually complete that particular knockoff line. But I swear that's all I got for you tonight.
That's 97 things.
Yeah, that the original line is expensive as hell.
Yeah, and they had I seen one was the older guy, who I think just looks very creepy, and that's why he looks so cool as a figure. And he was going for $100. Of course, he was still in the package. Granted, those particular ones probably no one ever knew to keep them in the package because they weren't really a big toy line. So one, I never knew they existed until I seen that.
It's listed on Macari, so that doesn't mean it's sold for that. But they got a Jack Burton on here for $250.
Yeah, so it's definitely something that I mean, like I said, they look pretty cool, and I think they actually come out with a big diesel truck too, for the figures for that particular figure. Um, and I seen the Chinese girl with the blue eyes, and then the white girl with the blue eyes too. They both have figures as well. So kind of cool stuff. So just to recap it all, hopefully some more things come out about Hulk Hogan, and we can have a better closure on his death. Um, you know, hopefully everything works out for Brock Lesnar, whether his name be totally cleared from everything, because whether it's cleared via the courts, um, when it comes to actual fans and people against stuff like that, I don't think
Well,
his name will ever be cleared.
again, his name's already cleared in the courts. He is not a defendant in the case. His name is just brought up in the case.
Yeah. So, and the view of public opinion, he's always going to have that black target on, well, not black target, but black mark on his name.
Even though we're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty in this country.
Ain't that something? But highlight
we can
this
set it up
Saturday.
on a huge tangent on that one.
Highlight though, the Little Devils is this Saturday. Doors open at 6. Show starts at 7. Your main event is Bobby D versus Glenn Williams in a 2 out of 3 Falls Count Anywhere match. So that's going to be great
Title.
For the title. He just lost the Central States title, so now I don't know what makes him think he gets the heavyweight title, but.
Well, as much as I don't like the little ginger Billy, he does bring up the good point of I did lose my Central States title to him.
I didn't think about that. Hey, I got one other thing. It's not toy related or anything like that, but in the midst of cleaning, Amy found an old poster of mine and Bobby's back when we talked. And we talked about this for the longest time, how SICW and MMWA used to be one and the same. But this is a poster of it even advertised MMWA SICW wrestling. And this is an old poster, it's got Philly Blunt, it's got Keith Smith, a younger version of Gary Jackson, Big Texan when he was the mean guy, of course my partner in crime, Waco.
The murderer.
It's got a murderer on here. It's got Bobby D, and it's even got Purple Passion. And look, this is Sean Vincent.
I was gonna say, well, there's a loser up there in the corner.
That's a real street thug right there.
Yeah, it's got Espy on there, Billy Diamond, of course, Tony the promoter, Herb Simmons too. But very cool old poster. Lumberjacks.
Tony and Herb together in the same poster, but they didn't get along.
Right. It's so weird. And man, I hate to say that he's a murderer, and that's probably extreme, but that's what he did. But
it's not extreme, it's factual.
Yeah, it's factual.
He posted on his Facebook that he did it, so no speculation.
Yeah. It is
flat out admitted it.
It's so weird to me that you think one person is one way, and then it turns out that you don't know this person at all. Because, like I said,
I agree. I would not have expected it in 100 years.
Yeah, because he was definitely the type to give his shirt off his back if you needed it. One of the nicest guys I ever met, and who would have thought? But like you said, and like the courts say, it happened. So, but
he said it's factual, so we can't get sued. It's not defamation because it is factual. He admitted it himself.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that you personally know that guy, and you just can't see that in your head. But it happened, so fucked up. But so weird because there's a YouTube that talks about WWE wrestlers who've been in trouble, and even though he was in their farm system, but he never made it to like the main event, actually being labeled a WWE guy, but he still had a WWE contract. So he was actually in that video too. So it's just mind blowing. And then they go into details about it too. Nothing new for us because of course the friends of him had seen everything, because he had went ahead and posted and talked about it. So still just fucked up, It's one of those things. But yeah, let's leave them on a better note. This Saturday, Little Devil, support the wrestlers and the football players. Come out, show your support, spend your money, buy your hamburgers, buy your beer. It's for a great cause, and we'll see you there. Anything else from you, gentlemen?
Nope.
Like you said, come on out, help support a great organization, and all you have to do is be a fan.
That's true. All right, guys, and everyone else too. Please, I forgot to say, please like, subscribe, share. Our podcast last week with Justin Race was really cool, and it's always cool when your guest shares your product as well. And he was like, as soon as it comes out, give it to me, and I'm going to post it. And sure enough, on his social medias, Instagram, Facebook, he posted that thing. And it's been one of our best podcasts in a while. We've kind of hit a slump on not subscribers, but views.
Well,
On both. But he gave us a little shot in the arm that we need, and hopefully it just goes up from there. I want to. All right, so I lied to you guys. I'm going to show you one more thing. We talked about Travis Orndorff, great guest on the podcast. We will eventually have him back on. His father, Paul, of course, has passed away. WWE announced that he's going to get a new figure, which has been years in the making. But before that, he signed to TRT, which is Title Run Companies. It's another small toy company, but they produced this guy. I told you on the podcast that I bought him. He finally came in, and this is the same size.
It looks just like him.
Yeah, I mean they got him down to a T. Same size as the Hasbro's. Only thing cool, not the only thing cool, but one of the cool things, the Hasbro's has always had some sort of like function. Like Hogan's is a punch. He was known for the spiked pile driver. And how the hell are you going to do that with a Hasbro? Well, they actually made his legs be able to bend like this, so you would be able to actually give the spiked pile driver. So I didn't know that was one of the things that they were doing, but they did it, and he is very freaking cool. And just to shout out Title Run Toys, they're doing a thing that if you go onto their Instagram and actually have it done by Friday, if you post about the Paul Orndorff or the other guys that there's three of them, Hoot and Toot Guerrero and Ernest the Cat Miller. If you post about them or show a display of like Paul Drive and Hulk Hogan, if you post it on their Instagram page and tag them in it and tag two guys, two friends that hasn't bought anything from Title Run Companies or is not a friend of Title Run Companies, they're actually doing a surprise for you. I can't remember what the surprise is, but hell, it's a surprise, and so they'll hook you up with something. But I think that is very cool. It's a new toy company. It's an independent toy company, so they're not making millions of dollars. Most of the time, these toy companies actually lose money in the beginning because they don't know if they make 1,000 of these, if they're actually going to sell or not. But I definitely think that Paul Orndorff, at least, is very cool. I didn't get the other two guys. But I know they just got released too, so their toys are out there. But that is all I got for you guys. So until next week, we will see you at the wrestling show. You guys have a good night.
Have a good night.
See ya.
Bye.